Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again, and we have a special guest right here.
Hello.
Say hello. What's your name?
It's Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. What is up, Cheyenne? How's things?
Just hot and sweaty and enjoying the delicious heat today.
I love being hot and sweaty, I tell you what.
It's just
it has its moments.
the be-all, isn't it?
It has its moments, right?
Be.
Guys, welcome to another episode of What Life Throws at Us.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
That's lovely.
Oh, I think it's good.
Lovely title.
I reckon it's great because life can throw many curveballs.
Yeah. Good and bad.
Good and bad, right?
And some mediocre.
Mediocre?
Yeah.
You know, like mundane stuff. I
Yeah,
guess.
just like meh.
Yeah, I agree. But
the motions
Yeah.
of the oceans.
one of the best things about this new channel, guys, is wanting to get people on to join us.
Absolutely.
Myself and Double D.
Yeah.
And talk about what life's thrown at them, right? And Cheyenne is someone who I've met over the last, 6 months, maybe to a year.
A year, Brian.
Okay, sorry, a year.
Doggo.
Brian's fine, mate. Look, Brian the dog.
I've already stuffed up the alias.
That doesn't matter. Look, aliases can be broken, mate. So, and we've known each other, and I just, through a couple little chats with Cheyenne, she mentioned something about being in LA and possibly doing some actressing stuff.
Actressing.
Ooh.
Is that a word?
No.
You know I love bringing up new
you
words.
just make up new words all
we
the
just
time.
made that.
Honestly, my lingo I can make up new languages all the time, don't worry.
Of course.
And we've invited her onto this show, and she could be a staple. Who knows? She can come on many times if she wants.
There you go.
Absolutely.
100%.
Love
So
to be here.
introduce yourself, mate. What is this story about you going to LA and stuff?
Oh God, there's like, it's. I mean, how long have you got? I grew up always wanting to be, and nothing's changed really, the center of attention. Whether I'm telling a joke or a really good story, or
That's
I'm singing
wicked.
a song, or I'm acting, or I'm anything. I can tell the longest, most ridiculously convoluted story and make you feel like you're there. And I just thought that was so cool as a kid when I could make someone laugh or make their day better. And a lot of it also came from, I don't know if you guys remember, but do you remember there was like this badge that came out years ago? I was probably about 3 or 4, and it said Smile for Life, and it was a charity. I don't even know exactly what it was a charity for. It could have been homeless people, kids, children. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
But that stuck with me forever.
When you were just a kid?
When I was just a kid,
Okay.
Smile for Life. So
Because we're a very similar age. I'm not saying how. Don't ever ask a woman how old they are.
I'm going to be the big 40 in April. So let me just pat my wrinkles.
Yeah.
So this Smile for Life badge just stayed with me. And so I always thought that, like, if that was my superhero power, it was to make someone happy or
That's
smile.
wicked.
And so I probably don't stop smiling. I could be having the worst day of my life and still make someone else, feel like I'm okay. And I always wanted to do acting and followed that dream and moved to Sydney. And with that, went to drama school and did all I had to do. Now the
So
LA
what
thing.
year? How old were you when you decided to do drama school?
I left Sunshine Coast in Queensland when I was 18 years old.
Right.
So I finished high school in 2000.
And you were doing drama in high school and just thought, I love this?
School captain.
Oh.
And performer of the year 3 years in a row. Yes, lots of musical theatre. I'm sure everyone hated me, but I was the girl in parade who was singing and dancing.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then I'd also be like, I'm the school captain and here I am to read you things about the school. And then I'd be like, oh, yeah.
Oh, wicked.
and sing.
Wicked.
I had many wonderful friends, and I'm sure I had many people who didn't really like me either.
Oh,
But that's
okay.
okay.
That's life.
That's life.
That is life.
That's life.
Yeah.
With that, moved to Sydney. And went to drama school, and drama school is like a whole other conversation. That's huge. You had to grow up very quickly.
Right.
Many interesting people, and obviously drama school, you're not just with teenagers anymore, you're with people from all different ages. And so I was 18 and I was so fresh.
One of the youngest, you reckon?
Here I am doing my Smile for Life. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Doing my hi, here I am to feel.
Wow.
And people either like you or they don't. And I learnt that really quickly and had to be cool with it. I probably still struggle with that as an adult now, but why?
Who doesn't? Everyone wants to be liked in life.
They do. That's just a common human
Yeah,
instinct.
you always worry about, I wonder if that person liked me. I do anyway. I sort of like, fuck,
yeah.
I wonder if I made a decent impression on that
Same.
person. But yeah,
I think it's just human nature to want to, have that little tribe around you.
yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, and with drama school, I was in a play that travelled to Europe, and I was part of an international acting school competition.
Wicked.
And yeah, that was pretty amazing being in Poland. We did a Polish play, a very famous Polish play, in English, and we were Australian, so it was a real eye opener.
I wonder what Polish sounds like.
And they also speak English, and they speak
It's like Swedish.
languages.
Poland and Sweden close together.
I
Or am I
learned
wrong?
Proszę, proszę, which is please forgive me, to say excuse me if you had to move past someone. I learned a whole lot of other stuff, but I can't remember it
Nice.
very well.
Okay.
But yeah, that was probably a huge part of drama school, and we did that for a few weeks and travelled around Europe. And then I ended up back in Sydney. I am getting to the LA part. Sorry.
Hold on, no, you're going too fast. I want to rewind just a little bit here.
What do you want to know?
The drama school you went to in Sydney. Any famous people that you know of that have gone to that one?
There
or?
are a few people who have become incredibly successful. A lot of some of the boys who actually went to Poland with me have been in a few Netflix movies.
Tell me about. Can you drop the names or?
I probably won't, because they have different names now.
Gotcha.
So I'll just.
So they have
them a little.
TV Hollywood names, like how people change their name, like Tom Cruise probably isn't his actual real
and
name.
I haven't spoken to these guys in probably an essence of, oh God.
Can you name a
15,
Netflix show or what it
16
is?
Years. I better not, only because I haven't spoken to them or sort of been, in contact for a long, long time, and I wouldn't want them to think that I'm just here dropping bombs.
Yeah,
and
for
dropping
sure.
Names.
So the movies that they are in, are they more Australian based, or they are actually themselves in?
No, they're in
States?
American.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's an American
All right,
movie.
yeah. So they've stepped right up.
A lot of I mean, a lot of what we did in drama school, a lot of it's theatre. And so a lot of
yes, the
successful
On stage theatre shows. Yeah,
absolutely. A lot of successful actors from my school went into theatre. A lot went into improvisation, like comedy improv.
Yeah.
A lot. One of the girls went into have a bit of a singing career. It's all very different, but because I guess life happens and you kind of, separate yourself as you grow up a little bit and all the rest of it. I haven't been in touch with my drama friends for a long, long time. It's really weird because when you're in the thick of it, when you're in it, you are so intimate. It is just such an intimate space because you're vulnerable all the time. And then to not be, to have been such a long space, it's almost strange.
I guess for me, that story, putting myself in your shoes, I feel like that it's been so long, and now that they're successful and whatever, and that I would think that they would think the only reason that I'm getting in touch is because of who they've become.
Yeah.
And then that would kind of be and that wouldn't be the situation. It would be a genuine just you guys experience this thing together. But then so that could also sort of, I guess, ruin that side of it to make you apprehensive too.
I think unless you're still in someone's life pretty full time, it's probably good not to
That sort of reminds me of something like, let's say you win lotto, right? $20 million, someone from fucking you haven't talked to in 20 years messages, hey, Dan, you want to catch up? What's going on? That's kind of what it reminded me of a bit there.
Totally.
The vibe.
Totally. But no, it was a phenomenal experience. I had my first love at drama school with another drama boy, and it's a very high stakes, emotional kind of time because you're so engrossed in what you're doing, and everything is so intense. And you have to, like I said, grow up very, very quickly and be kind of okay with everything that's being thrown at you and develop a very thick skin. So I graduated drama school, and then so the rest of my 20s was just constantly auditioning for lots of things.
In Australia, yeah?
In Australia and Sydney.
So did you audition for Home and Away and stuff like that?
My agent actually wanted me to do...
you had an agent? That's cool.
I did have an agent, yeah. I showcased and had an agent. My agent actually wanted me to audition for... there was a role that came up on All Saints. Do you remember the TV show
All Saints? Yeah.
And something for home and away.
We belong together.
And at the time, I'm a serious theatre girl. Like, I don't think I can, give what I can to TV. Like, I'm not sure if I'm that sort of actress. And yeah, I sort of said no, thank you.
Yeah.
You said no. Fuck.
I just love theatre so much. Like,
Gotcha.
I can't explain to you, or do you understand this? But the thrill of an open
Live
stage
audience.
and a live audience, and it's all yours, and you can hear a pin drop, and that adrenaline.
Wow.
It's addictive, and that is so. I can't explain it. It's so empowering, and you feel really special, even if it's for a few minutes or 2 lines. You just feel fantastic, and I really, really enjoy theatre, and I miss it a lot since having children.
So you, at the time, 18, 19, 20 doing theatre at the moment, and then you got
So I graduated drama school at 22.
right, and then you got a. What did you say? A manager? Oh, sorry,
An agent, yeah.
an
So
agent?
with drama school, you showcase. So you do a performance. So it'll be like maybe a monologue and a few little skits here and there. And it's a pretty terrifying process.
Yeah.
And they're all in the audience and they all watch you. And then afterwards, you come out and you meet the people, the audience who was there, the crowd who's there, and they'll kind of flick you a card if they're interested. They'll flick you their
Wicked.
card.
And they have, obviously, they're on scouting sort of
They
thing,
are.
scouting for new talent.
Because they have a profile. They
Yeah.
have people who they have on their books, and they kind of know maybe what's missing on their books, like if they want this sort of look or if they want that kind of look.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my agent. And then, you are kind of free to audition and spread your wings and see how you go. And auditioning is, it's terrifying because you might be brave and be confident, and then you walk into a room and everyone looks like you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Because the casting call might be for a girl with long brown hair and big
Gotcha.
eyes, and you walk in and I'm like, my eyes are all
Fuck,
I've got.
I'm not unique here.
I'm not
yeah.
unique now.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty daunting.
And is it when you go to audition? Is it like you see in the movies where there's like 3 people sitting at a desk, and then you just wander in, and then you've got to do your thing, and they're like,
And they
you
give
know,
you
they
nothing-
natter
We'll
to
get in
each
touch with
other.
you.
Yeah,
and
not
then
much back, and then away you go.
Yeah, I had a few where I was like, oh, I've got this. Like I had a few
Yep.
like callbacks. 'Cause
Super
If
confident.
you come back again, obviously they're keen,
Yeah.
and if you come back again, they're really keen. And
Yep.
I had a few super close where it was me and another 2 girls or something.
Was this for a movie, TV show, or anything like that?
One was for a commercial.
Yep.
The one was for a TV show. And one was another TV show. Yeah. Pilots. Yeah. And yeah,
Do you remember the pilots or what show it was?
I do,
or-
but I can't tell you. Sorry.
The secret
mystery.
runs deep here.
Secret
in-
squirrel.
because sometimes pilots don't go.
I get you.
Yeah.
They don't make it
Yeah.
that next.
Or
that
they'll
next
do
bit.
a pilot, right, and then it just gets canned because it's not.
Yeah.
Didn't get enough.
Or
Huh?
something.
Not popular.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not
Yeah.
enough viewers, not enough.
didn't float,
It's all
yeah.
about numbers, mate. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
And sometimes also like with the scripts that you have, although it's like a chunk out of a huge, so out of context, you don't really know what you're talking about. But if pilots aren't successful, they may be picked up years later. So it's information that's kind of still a little confidential.
Cool.
It was great though, and I had a fantastic audition. The guy I was opposite acting with, we had this fantastic rapport, and it was like just free flowing, and I was really happy. And I sort of bounced out, and I was like, I've got this. Like, yes, here it comes. And what happened is they changed the guy I was acting opposite with. He had the role. He dropped out for some reason. They changed that actor, and
Chemistry wasn't there again.
it wasn't there. And I was taller than him, so it just didn't work. And I was like, but I can take my shoes off. So things like that. That's what I mean. Like the tiniest
Wow.
things can happen, and you're like, oh, okay. And you can't walk away going, I have to change this about myself, and now I need to do this. You just have to still like your product,
Yep. Believe in your-
like what you're selling,
Yep.
and just keep moving forward. And I did that for many, many years. I always had waitressing jobs on the side because you still have to eat, stay, and pay rent.
This was all over East,
This is all in Sydney.
Sydney, yeah.
So I would do a lot of auditions on the way to work, or a lot of auditions coming home from work.
Nice.
So I'd be in the back of a taxi doing like a vocal warm up,
Wow.
sounding like a crazy person, and talking to myself and all sorts. Or you'd be changing or putting makeup on or doing.
But you were still at this stage doing theatre gigs, yeah? Or like on stage making money doing that?
No,
No,
not
that's just more of a side
really.
passion.
I mean, you can still audition for theatre, but you may not get it.
Okay.
The other thing that you have to remember is that waitressing, I was working nights. If I got a theatre job, I'd have to say to my waitress boss, I can only be here for day shifts and I have to leave by XYZ. Like it's this fine line. And I wasn't really, I was so close but no cigar kind of thing. And it's just what you have to kind of throw with the, roll with it and go with the punches. But
maybe a shitty question to throw at you, but do you look back at the people that you were in class with and they made a super successful career and you go, oh, fuck, I was that close to maybe doing it? Or
a little bit, but what I have now is so soul-filling that I'm okay.
100%.
Does that make sense?
That's what I mean. Like, so life is, not
the
taking
path
down
that
that
I
path,
went,
but still fucking awesome because you created
Well, I met the
beautiful human beings
love
and
of my life, and I made babies.
Exactly.
And so we actually, Justin and I were actually in London living together, and I was working in the West End. I wasn't on stage. I was part of the front of house kind of team. Again, I was looking at showcasing there, and it became kind of like if I showcase and I have an agent, I'll be earning practically nothing, living on a couch, trying to audition for things. Or I've got this beautiful man I've just fallen in love with who wants to say, let's go to Paris for the weekend. And it kind of became not a choice, but I've fallen in love and I want to adult. I want to adult a bit because I want to create some life memories with this guy and stop being, kind of living like a pauper.
The chase of
and get some fulfillment from doing these amazing things with this guy that I'm in love with.
And there's probably a lot of people that have kept doing that chase, right?
Years and years and
years.
I've got lots of friends
years.
who are still in it.
That's what I mean.
My London family are still auditioning and still going for things.
Probably missing out on life.
But they love it, and it's that, like I said before, it's that passion. It's that chase of that stage feeling and being on an empty stage and having it all yours and having an audience gasp and wait for your first breath.
That's cool.
And to be honest, I haven't like neglected it and just forgotten about it. I've just been super busy raising children. So
like you
I
said,
want to do it still. So I love it.
Off camera and recording, you were like, well, hang on, no, I'm not done yet.
I'm so not
Which is
done.
awesome to hear.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
I'm not done. And to be honest, like, as much as I miss it and I yearn for it, my soul is still a little bit filled because, like, I sing and dance with the kids, although they can't stand me sometimes. And like even in class today, I was singing when the school bell went. So like, if I can find the little joy and those little snippets of the smile for life kind of motto that I sort of seem to live my life by, I feel good about it and I feel special. Even just being here, I'm like, oh wow, talking about myself, something we
make people feel special up in here, don't we? We do, kind of.
Absolutely. So was it your agent then that said you should make the move to LA?
So I actually went to LA because I was working for Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was...
How did you start working for Warner Brothers? Like just a casual way. I started working for Warner Brothers, the well-known little company.
Give me a job.
Phenomenal company. It's basically what I did.
Yeah.
So I was working in the administration sort of finance team. So the people that sell the content to 9, 10,
nice.
Stan, Netflix. Fantastic team, fantastic people to work with, phenomenal office space. So
Warner Brothers is based here?
Warner Brothers is in Sydney.
Wow. Okay, so there's a whole Warner Brothers
huge
studio thingy-majiggy.
There are studios.
That's where they filmed Matrix shit, I think, maybe in Sydney.
They did film some
Warner Brothers studio over there.
There are some
That's the one that comes straight to mind.
on the Gold Coast though, so like Aquaman and those sorts of movies are filmed in Queensland. But Warner Brothers do also like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, local.
Gotcha. Well, that's where the big house is, right? And that's
Yes.
and surrounded by all the
Yeah.
gardens and
I'm
shit.
not sure
and-
which house they're at now, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I just applied for the job, and I got in. This is years after London.
Yep.
And yeah, I loved it. I can't describe to you what it's like to have your work be content that you love. So talking about these phenomenal movies, and historically Warner Brothers are fantastic, fantastic catalogue. And I just had a brilliant time. And I guess as part of the orientation process, it was, let's do a trip to LA and meet the execs and meet behind the scenes. And that was...
So just starting at Warner
incredible.
Brothers in Sydney, orientation process, you said. So you're only just there.
no, I was there probably about maybe about 4 months when I went to LA. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. All right.
Flew on a.
And what year was
plane.
this, do you reckon? What year was this?
This was 2016.
2016?
2016. Yes.
That's not that long ago. I feel like that was like just yesterday.
So I got.
But then I'm thinking, hang on, what fucking year is it again? 2023.
Yeah.
So I think that's right. 2015, 2016. Because
Here
I
I
got
am
married in
thinking.
2017. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was pretty eye-opening for me. I'd gone through a little bit of medical drama in my life, hit some pretty rock bottom moments, and I didn't think I had enough power and strength to pull myself out of it. And then like a year later, I'm working at Warner Brothers and on a plane to LA on the set, and I was
Sweet.
like, what is my life?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
That is awesome.
Were
and that
you
was
with
phenomenal.
Justin at the time?
We were together, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been together
He
since
came with you?
2011.
Oh.
No,
Ah.
I went with my work colleagues, and I FaceTimed him from LA.
That's wicked. He would have been loving that. Fucking, I want to be in LA.
He was pretty jelly. But it was amazing. So
Cool.
obviously we do all the things that the public can do with set tours and things like that. But then because I worked there and I had a work pass, I was also behind the scenes, and that was like just a full circle as an actress, as someone who loves what she's always done, and then now as sort of the different side of the camera and learning, all about the other kind of world. Phenomenal, and create the creative juices that were there, and the teams and the
Wicked.
writers and the producers and the executives. It's just incredible.
You got to meet a lot of those people, I guess. And
Some, not everyone, but some, yeah. Obviously, I'm just this
Are you
small
allowed to drop
person.
any names? Or?
No. I'm obviously just this small person
camera?
from Sydney, a little admin girl,
Yeah.
going, hi, everybody.
Yeah.
But no, it was honestly just, I felt really special and really lucky, and really, I don't know how to just humbled by the whole experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like it had it sounds like it had a really positive, great time.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a seedy side to that industry.
I think that's the world over knows that.
Yeah.
And
And were
especially
you
with
exposed
with
to
the Me Too movement? Never. Not me personally.
Yep.
Ever. Not me as an actress, and not me as a behind the scenes.
Yeah, okay.
Ever. I'm so glad I was never, especially as a young actress back in the day, I was never exposed to anything.
Wow.
There's people that I know that were. We didn't know what to call it back then.
Yeah.
I'm glad it has a name now. It has some, and there's definitely something that's changed. Like I can feel that. It makes me very sad. I mean, everyone's known for years what's been happening in any industry, but this one in particular.
Yep.
We're talking about like favours
Well,
that people would like, hey,
people taking advantage of very vulnerable people. I think.
Yeah. So
and
so
I'll
someone
put you in this position if you can do this for me.
Yeah,
that sort of
true,
thing.
true. But I mean, I just think that generally, you want something so bad,
Yeah.
like you want it, and then you're basically ripe for
yeah,
a predator to come along, and
it is
such
such a sad tale,
yeah.
I'm sure it's still probably happening.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it probably does.
And
But
that breaks my heart. And for all the people that have come forward, they're so brave and so strong.
yeah,
What's the guy that got really recently committed for all that shit? What's his name? Do you know it?
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein. I was on the tip
Very
of my tongue.
sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
yeah,
Because he was a major
Yeah.
powerhouse, so it's very, very sad. But no, thankfully I was never exposed.
Nice.
I was never in a situation where I felt uncomfortable.
Yep.
I'd like to think that I was pretty ballsy as a younger person. I've always been outspoken. I'd like to think that I would have really stood my ground too, given
yeah.
given that
true.
circumstance and defended, or myself or someone else,
Yep.
because it is scary, female or male. I think it's a pretty terrifying thing to have to go through.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially if you're just, like you said, you're chasing that for such a long time.
yeah.
And depending how strong that person is, they could,
Yeah.
hey, if all I've got to do is this, and you're
Yeah.
going to give me that, all right.
It's really sad, and a lot of people did come forward with the Me Too movement, saying my career went this way because of this, and all sorts. But no, I was never in recent times or old times exposed, thankfully.
Good.
Yeah.
Because when Doggo said to me, we've got Cheyenne coming on, and like she's, been to LA and trying to break into the whole movie scene and everything over there. I'm once again, obviously watch a lot of movies and all that. We got nothing to base anything on. My initial thought was, right, obviously you've done drama school and you've done something sort of here. And then you've just hopped on a plane yourself and like, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I wish I was that brave.
Yeah, it was stepped off the bus in LA.
I was there for purely because I was working for Warner Brothers. I didn't just like knock on the gate and say, let me in.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here, world.
Although I'm sure back in the 50s and 40s, women did that.
People would have,
men and women did that. Like, look what I can do and watch me do this. Look at my talent. No, I had a proper pass and very security. The security detail there is pretty extreme, as you can imagine. I just thought it was phenomenal that they have these huge sound stages, which you can see when you go on the tour as well. And outside of each sound stage is these giant plaques that tell you what movies or TV shows have been filmed there and what year. It's like Casablanca, 19 Rebel Without a Cause, the Friends building, the Ellen building, Batman movies because they do DC. So, and I was just like, snap, because that to me, like seeing where greats have walked, like for my kind of idols, like these giant actors and actresses, like just walking these hallways. I always wanted to touch everything.
That's cool. That's back to being in the same building or area where you watched a movie and you saw like that's
so
a cool experience, right? Like I think you've been to Movie World or whatever in LA and stuff.
We've done. Yeah, I've done like Hollywood and stuff.
Yeah,
just as
we did
just a person going around and seeing stuff.
Yeah. 2000 as a tourist. As
a tourist during the Stars Walk and Man's Chinese Theatre, and then driving up through the Hollywood Hills and someone telling us lies about whose house that is.
Yeah.
And, all that sort of thing.
I did every tour I could, and I actually. This is a bit morbid. I'm actually a bit of a weirdo when it comes to true crime. I just really, really interested in it. I don't know
my wife's the same.
What the pull is, but the pull is there. The pull is strong. And I did a lot of the sort of curiously morbid tours. There is a gentleman called Scott Michaels who, when I was there, ran a Dearly Departed tour, and he's fantastic. Like he just
Dearly
knows,
Departed.
Yeah, he knows everything about everything. He's fantastic.
What's Dearly Departed?
It's a tour. It's a tour in LA.
Oh, it's called Dearly Departed.
Yeah.
Is that based off anything, like a movie or something?
No. So you hop in a car.
Yeah.
And it'll be him or his tour guides, and they take you around to places. So this is where
places
such and such
as
happened,
in
like Hollywood.
Like
So
death.
I'd imagine the Viper Room.
Yep. So this is where River Phoenix.
Yes.
This is the phone box that Joaquin Phoenix phoned from. This is where Lucille Wall was when she said something to someone. This is where this person stood. This is where, not very nice stories obviously as well, some not so great stuff, but like a lot of the horror movies. So like this is where Halloween was filmed. The OG.
I love
Michael stood behind this hedge. Obviously went up to the Tate LaBianca. They covered that, but they went to the Tate LaBianca sort of houses and things and the roads and
what's that one? Is that the Manson? Because we went past that, and apparently the house has actually been
it has.
It's
I think
been razed
a few years ago. The
Yeah.
house was completely demolished, and they've got this huge kind of mansion on there now. But you can go up the road that the killers would have walked up. It's all very nothing has been touched except for the house. But
There's quite a few. You can come across YouTube channels or whatever videos that people film locations of where movies are filmed and stuff, and I find those really interesting as well. How much the place has changed.
I love that before and afters. Yeah.
One of the biggest thrills I had going in Hollywood and doing a tour and stuff, and going through the what's it called, the tunnel on Back to the Future, where he's doing the whole ride up with the hoverboard versus the car and stuff, and just driving through that tunnel was just like, man, I can't believe I'm actually here. You know, like I love Back to the Future, and I've watched it a billion times as a kid. Being there, and even outside of the Nakatomi building from Die Hard, like that was just such a rush for me, man. Yeah, and it's tiny compared to what it's supposed to actually be. Is like supposed to be fucking, you
don't know until you see it in the
and it's like the tunnel. The tunnel got extended in the movie, but the tunnel's like fucking
nothing,
not there at all. Yeah,
it's Hollywood magic.
Yeah, that's right.
So Cheyenne, with you spending obviously a bit of time there, did you lose some of that, that shine? Like, did it become, when you're first there, obviously it's like everything's amazing, and then as time went on, it's like, oh yeah, that building was blah blah blah.
Totally. Yeah. And because I'm busy and I'm working, as well, you need to like just turn everything off and concentrate. For me personally, though, I was there during the elections. And I'm not a political person, and I don't know how to comment or begin to comment on the US and their things that I have going on.
Complicated.
But it was during, obviously, Trump going for power, and it was a very interesting time. The streets were filled with a lot of pro and against, and it was a little bit frightening because it's not what I'm used to here in Australia, right? We're very different over here. We don't talk that way. We don't really, it's not even a conversation at a barbecue. No one really, it's very relaxed and lazy attitude about it, which is a good thing. It's how I like that. Yeah. So that was a huge eye-opener for me.
Huge over there, isn't it?
Huge, yeah. Even down to...
Democrats versus Republicans.
Absolutely.
Fucking hell.
It's giant. And I didn't know how to respond. People would ask me where I sit with it. Because I was like...
It's so shit. Like, even if you're a best friend with someone and they suddenly wanted to support Democrats, suddenly you're a fucking enemy to me, you know? Like, I hate that.
And I witnessed that. I witnessed that in front of me happening with people that I knew who were had a different interest in certain loggerheads. And that was almost polarizing for the whole occasion, because it was obviously huge what was happening at the time. But didn't let it kill my love and admiration, of course. Like, still super happy just walking around the sets and feeling a part of it still. Like,
it's good.
So you're there working, obviously.
Yes.
But how long for?
I was there for about a week and a half, I think. Maybe 2 weeks,
Oh, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But did you then try and put out some little feelers?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
No, because obviously
or you just flat out?
Well, we were busy, but I was working.
Yeah.
So I'm busy. I have a cousin. My husband has a cousin who lives there, so I got to hang out with her and at this incredible, beautiful home that she was house sitting. And we got to do some fun stuff. I did she does like some quiz nights. So I did some quiz nights with her in Hollywood.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
Wicked.
That was fun. There was a few celebrities that were part of her quiz night that I got to sit with, and that was pretty interesting.
Can you name drop?
Exciting. I definitely cannot name drop that one. I'm sorry.
God, it was Brad Pitt.
It was
I knew it.
Wait, high celebrities, like really well known?
I'll tell you later.
Off camera, ladies and gentlemen.
I will tell you later.
Look, if you want to know them, just send me a private message later. You've got to pay me at least $200 and I'll tell you.
But you know what? They were so happy just being part of the crowd, and so that's my.
Yeah. That's cool.
I got to respect that and treat them the same way that I would like to be treated.
They wanted to blend in and be a normal person, which has got to be the toughest thing, being a high-profile celebrity, like walking down the fucking street to go to the shop,
getting harassed.
Can I get a photo with you?
Who doesn't want to have a schnitzel and a beer and be left alone with food all over their face?
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone
wants to be famous until you don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to be rich. I don't want to be famous.
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
why am I doing this podcast? I want to be famous. No, I don't really. I'll do this for the fun. Like, this is fucking fun. This is awesome.
No, it's good. It's good. It's actually really nice to talk about. I I love where I am now. I love the journey that it's taken to get here and the path that I'm on, and it's definitely not over. But it does make me like a little bit melancholy, going, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot I did that. Oh yeah, I was thinking about this audition or you know, that audition, and that's super. It's super nice to sort of reminisce again and think about it. But yeah, it's
good to hear that it's not over though. Like that's really cool. Like
I don't think it ever will be for me because I'm just that sort of personality. I am exhausted at the moment. Two kids. I think all of us mums are, and I am absolutely brain dead when it comes to trying to think about the future. Like I'm like I get them to school and I have to like recuperate for 3 hours because leaving the house is just such a nightmare. So I'm not yet sure what that path looks like, but I know that it looks like something pretty exciting. I don't think I can just go and not be part of the industry. Like I don't think I can just sort of go and do book work for something that wasn't in the industry. Like I really enjoy being part of it and talking about it constantly, and you know, like-minded people. Yeah.
So you're not going to be like some of those other mums where, you know, you'll get your kids enrolled in something so you can live vicariously through them.
Both of my daughters are very extroverted. They were never not going to be. They sing, they dance, they're highly emotional. You know, their tantrums are epic proportion. And my poor husband just stands there and he's so lovely. He's just like, I don't know
what do I do?
Right now. Like, I got this. I just said have a bath. So they were always going to be really loud and proud. So
now you're thinking about, oh my God, I've just enrolled my kids in a drama. Was it me?
My 4-year-old, like Brian was there, Doggo was there at the Christmas concert. She was up next to the microphone. She was loud and proud, and I was so proud. I was like, there she goes, like this is her and doing her thing. And now I wasn't like, do it like this and do it like that. She did it all on her own.
Doing all the lines in the background.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that weird mum
mouthing
like,
the words,
holding the camera, like you know. But I know that she wants to do her own, you know, thing and whatever that might be. And same with my 3-year-old. She is just obsessed with kind of being like her movement is so incredible. So I feel like she's going to be something to do with dancing.
Awesome.
She's just really into to dancing and what have you. So they will follow their own paths, and we will just support them for whatever they want to do and be. I'll never ever push them in any direction.
No.
Follow their lead, because they're very much like me. Their heart is on their sleeves and they say what they've got to say.
That's it. Beautiful.
There's no stopping them. There's no stopping them.
Yeah. So you couldn't live vicariously through them anyway, it sounds like, because they wouldn't have it.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
No, and I want to inspire them just as much. So once I get over my decade of fatigue, I think that I will lead by a good example and be like, you know, this fills mummy's cup. Like, what do you like to do? This is what I like to do. My oldest, my 4-year-old, watches everything I do, and I see her repeat things that I've said and follow how I talk and, you know, lead by conversation and things. And I know that she's just sponging it all up no matter what I do. So
that is awesome.
No, they're good. They're good little kids. They're fantastic, actually.
So in saying that, when you are ready to, you know, jump back on the horse, is that the saying?
Sure. It is now.
It is now, sure. When you're ready to go back into that, can you still, you know, have you still got an agent who you can get in touch with? Or do you have to go find another one? Do you have to audition again? I would
have to showcase again.
Right.
So probably what I would look at doing is, what we were talking about earlier, actually. I'd love to jump down the improv route.
Improv,
again. Yeah, because it's a fantastic way to network. So it's a good way to get to meet like-minded people, people who are all in the same kind of boat. Then you meet more people who are doing this and that and what have you. But to get an agent, again, I'd most likely have to showcase. So that would mean doing a performance or maybe submitting like a
You're open to doing that again?
Tape. Yeah, I think I just need to find a time where I'm not full-time mum, which I am at the moment. They need to both be in school because I need to give them an opportunity to do what they've got to do so then I can have that space. I wouldn't want to drag them around to anything and make them sit there with an iPad or something while mum does her thing. That's not fair on them. But yeah, most likely something like that to meet an agent. But even, do you know what? It's so strange. But even just like, say, being part of like a poetry reading at a pub, or doing something like an improv night at a pub, or doing
Yes.
something that involves, like, say, getting fringe sort of like activity, even if it was up here,
Yep.
or, podcasts like this, like doing things that where I'm still able to talk and be animated and feel like I'm entertaining, and that smile
Wicked.
for life thing again. Like that is so wholesome to me,
Mm-hmm.
and that's so fulfilling.
That's awesome.
And if that is where my journey is going, I'm
Yep.
so cool with that.
Yeah.
Because I lived a pretty extravagant life, and it's very intense and it's very busy.
Cool.
And I kind of like the idea of still being able to be home and be a mum.
Yeah.
and, you know,
It's a
like, do all
release as
those
well,
things.
right? To get out of
Yeah.
that mum situation and just express yourself. Like,
Oh, totally.
it's almost like, you know, what I do with YouTube. And I love that release. And coming in here is just like separate from being a dad, you know, I
Yeah.
can chill out and
I think
be creative. And
mental health wise,
Yeah.
it's really important for your soul,
Yeah.
you know, to still feel like you're not just someone's mum or dad. Like
That's right.
you're still a human on this earth, and you're still doing
Yeah.
things, and you still have a personality and a life. And I think all of us mums and dads alike feel the same way.
Yeah.
That need to still feel like, you know, you are
Awesome.
that person still. I think that's really important. It's really special as
Yeah.
well.
that's great. Awesome. How you going?
I'm going great. How you going?
You got any more questions for Cheyenne?
I don't think so. I did actually have some questions to ask, but they've pretty much mostly been.
Because I'm just a
Yeah,
motor mouth.
yeah.
Sorry
Yeah.
about
They have
that.
been, but really, I think it's I think it's been interesting for me, like, because I've done nothing like what you've done, obviously, you know, and I have had that experience though of being on stage, and I can understand that
The rush.
the rush, the butterflies beforehand, the nerves, the especially with theatre, you're on there. Am I going to get my lines right? Am I going to, you know, this and that? And
That was like
Every-
a bucket
every-
list for you, wasn't it, to do something like that?
oh yeah, absolutely,
Good on you.
absolutely, and
That's awesome.
and every show in theatre is different. It's the same show, but it's different. Someone moves differently. Someone does something different. Someone forgets a line, and you do have to
pick it
bolster
up.
them, or you might forget a line,
Yep.
or you know, drop a cue, or something like. And
Things
then,
can happen on
and-
stage that you are not prepared for.
No, and then you talking about your experiences now has just kind of inside me, like, you know, I've got to go and do something
Yeah,
again.
I know, same.
You know,
Same. No,
Yeah.
honestly, like, you've just reminded me of something. If you want me to share a story
Go.
from drama school.
Go for
it. We were in a play. It was a Nudie Rudy play. We were
Wait,
all-
what?
bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah.
Nudie? Did you say nudie Rudy?
I did say Nudie Rudy. Hashtag
You were in a
Nudie
play.
Rudy.
Nudie Rudy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very famous play. And there was a...
Wait, were you all nude?
Portions. We were second year drama students, so we were all accepting of it. We had
All
a
right.
big group discussion beforehand.
Cool.
It's a
Rocky
play-
Horror.
It's Rocky Horror. Tim Curry. I love you. I'd love to do Rocky Horror. Actually,
Yeah.
had an audition for Rocky Horror.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I completely stuffed it up.
Yeah. Anyway, I've derailed your chat
Sorry.
there.
Go back to nudie Rudy.
Yeah.
So it's a very famous play called La Ronde, and it's basically a bunch of couples, and their stories are all intertwined because, say, in one scene it's a married couple, and in the next scene it's that married man having an affair with this person, and the next scene it's this person who's actually having an affair with this person, and they're all very much all in the
Yeah.
one.
Wicked.
It's a very wordy, very long play. It's an old play, so we had to sort of, pay respect to it and not change the text and what have you. But there are scenes that call for nudity,
Right.
not in a rude, grotesque way at all. It's just someone putting their pants back on, or you
Gotcha.
might see a breast. But there was one scene with a guy, with my friend, and he, the lights kind of went down to give you the perception of, something happening.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
And he would have to quickly jump off the bed, take his trousers down. And when the lights come back up again, here's me kind of refixing myself, and here's him pulling his pants off. And this one night,
They got
were
stuck.
they were long johns because it's a period piece. They're long
Yeah.
johns. He's pulled them up. His legs got stuck, and he's just fallen off the stage.
Off the stage completely.
Off the stage. completely.
Wow.
He hit the ground hard, and the poor guy is still like bare butt, like trying to pull his jocks up, but most likely also like I'm like, have you fucking broken a leg?
Jesus Christ.
Like, oh my God. And so I'm trying to give these, you know, beautifully written, like, lines that aren't really matching the whole you've just fucking fallen over.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking
show
about
must go
something
on.
completely different, and he's actually, the context is he's on the floor. And so I was just delivering it a different way, but in a, you know, here's your acting skills have to come into play where
Improv,
you
yeah.
might be talking about seeing each other again, but instead I had to be like, you know, will I see you again? Like, have you passed away? Are you dead now on the floor? But we picked up the pieces and we were fine, and sort of had to go on with it. But yeah, you have to be ready for anything and everything.
It's part of the
you
rush.
have to be ready for the lights to not work. You have to be ready for maybe the sound guys something's broken, and it's the thrill. And some nights are great nights, and your thoughts are happening and working, and you're bouncing off each other, and everyone's having a good time, and you're in the same sort of zone. And some nights it's flat. You may
just off.
I don't know, as a female you might have your period, or you might be feeling a bit down on yourself, or you may have had a rough day or whatever, and you're a bit flat, and your thoughts aren't as fast as you'd like them to be, and your thoughts can't change. It's kind of like a flat night, and you just have to roll with it, and you have to be able
struggle
to
through.
Yes, because if you sort of just give up and get, you know, that then
You can't.
you can't.
You got a team behind you that you're letting
People
everyone
around
down.
you. Yeah. And you will always make it to the finish line. You got to enjoy the ride though too.
Yeah.
But just talking about it, like you said,
Yeah, it all starts to come up.
it's so
And
exciting.
That's wicked.
And I think that my husband loves when I start to get on a roll about things, because he sees all the passion and all the ignite happening and stuff. So I definitely, the game is not over. Like, it's just not. I just don't have the time at the moment to commit like I'd like to. But I'm there. I just don't know where yet.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
this
still
could be what life has just thrown at you, going by the YouTube channel. That just coming here today and meeting Dion and talking to myself, and the fact that he was at an improv class, and this
That's
could
so
open a whole
exciting.
another door,
Yeah.
which you could easily get into and reconnect with
It's,
some other people. And
To me, I can't explain to you the difference between meeting like-minded people and meeting people who, you know, like they might still have the same drive, but it might be for a different passion, you know. And so it's, you know, it's hi, nice to meet you, but then like nothing else. You don't have anything else to talk about. Whereas when you meet someone who's like-minded, you know, the same sort of topics and what have you, like it's just like like, you know, it's
awesome.
like, and it's exciting, and then you build each other up, and that's super exciting.
That's
I
cool.
think that's what my daughters have definitely got that
No, that's great.
going on.
You've definitely got a very positive attitude in life, and that's what I love. That spreads out of you, and it's awesome.
Thank you. I think I have to, because I've had some pretty hard times.
Good
I've
on
had
ya.
some pretty rough trots, and you have to be able to acknowledge, recognize, take responsibility for wherever you're feeling or whatever's happening, and then just kind of like build you up, buttercup. Do you know what I mean? And I you know, some people need a little bit of extra help with that, and that's fantastic too. But I like to pride myself in going, okay, let's regroup, kids, and
Good on you.
because if you don't, you know, like it's hard, it's really important to stay happy and stay true to yourself, and always speak your truth.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
I think anyway. That's my personal opinion.
Wise words from Cheyenne.
Yeah.
I did have I think I had another question.
Sorry,
I was
just keep talking, don't I?
I've lost it. I've completely lost it though. That's all right. That's really cool. Thank you
You're welcome.
for sharing our
Hope I
your story.
answered some stories.
That
Sorry,
was
my
fucking-
LA wasn't as exciting as it probably
Still
sounded originally.
awesome. Like it just it's
No,
great.
It was actually just very full circle for me, coming from an actress who most likely maybe would never have seen behind the scenes, and then coming in there as a different perspective as someone who works for Warner Brothers and being let in the side door, so to speak, you know, like, and that was like, wow, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so lucky and so privileged. It's an honor. And I miss it a lot. I miss working for WB. I miss being part of that team. But I had to move interstate and have babies. So
Yeah.
that's just the way that it happens. But,
Any chance of going back to that WB?
I'd probably need to be living in Sydney.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's nothing like that here in
I'd most likely
P-Town.
need to be living there. And that's what was exciting about Sydney, is that you got to attend all the things that were launched in Sydney, or the
Yeah.
launch parties and what have
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
the events. Whereas it's a little bit quieter on the home front here. Lots of production companies, lots of theatre still, but unfortunately no WB.
It's not that big here, is it? Is theatres? I mean,
It's pretty
and
big in the
and
city.
finding, acting theatre sort of jobs. Is
Yeah.
it easy here? Do you know if
I
there's a
haven't
scene?
given it a
No,
crack
you haven't.
yet. I would say that it's probably a very good industry,
Yeah.
but I don't know how. I haven't started. I don't
No,
know how it is to
haven't
crack
looked
it
into
yet.
it.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the underground stuff that happens here, theatre, fringe, the amazing stuff in Frio, that's cool.
Yep.
And I'd love to be a part of
Okay.
that in some level, all those cool activities. But yeah, so sort of stay tuned.
Yeah, when
To
you're ready,
be-
you can jump
To
back
be
in, find out.
advanced,
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
maybe meet some new people
Yeah,
through the
absolutely.
improv world. Maybe
Absolutely.
this has been awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yes,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's been awesome.
Welcome.
Our first guest on what life throws at us, and I think I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
On you. Thanks,
Just
boys.
having a chat. Just
Thank
having a
you.
chin wag.
I'm good at that.
There's nothing like a good old chin wag, guys. Let me just do that,
Oh God.
because as we wind it up on the YouTube channel, another massive thank you
Oh,
to
you're so
Cheyenne.
welcome. You're so welcome, guys. No problem.
Really enjoyed this, guys. If you liked this, if you got any questions for Cheyenne, maybe you want to, find out who she actually, maybe had a quiz night with, or
Cone of silence.
who
God.
the Netflix shows are that she dropped earlier, but with nothing, nothing. She gave us nothing,
I'm a
but
vault.
that's okay.
I'm a vault.
She's done her due diligence, due diligence, and the code of silence between actors and Hollywood people, and
Respect.
they just want to be normal. Respect them. If you see them out in the street walking across to the deli, just don't go up to them and harass them for a photo. Just let them be.
Yeah, spy on them from afar.
Yeah, and if they're having a
Stalk them.
That's right.
I guess I kind of did that already when I was in LA on those tours. But
that's right.
That's it.
All right, guys. Until
right.
next time.
Too easy.
Peace.